Hello and welcome to Miniatures Rundown. Today we've got Cities of Sigmar.
Where? I don't see any.
So starting off with the ones that we have seen before.
Yep.
We have the two things that were in the Cities of Sigmar army box, but not everything that was in the Cities of Sigmar army box.
Yeah, the characters haven't been released.
Characters have not been released, which is weird,
Yeah.
but I guess normal for GW.
Yeah, are they just trying to push you to buy the box, maybe?
They have backstock.
Yeah.
So we have the Free Guild Cavaliers and the Free Guild Steelhelms, your cavalry and normal infantry as usual.
Yep.
Both of these we talked about in the box opening we did a while ago.
Yep. Great sculpts, even if they're just humans. Very fine details.
Dudes McDudeserson.
Exactly.
Now, something completely new, now for something completely different, we have a little priest, actually a big priest,
A big priest.
on a palanquin.
Yeah.
Been a while since we've seen one of these. Pontifex Zenestra, matriarch of the Great Wheel. Great sculpt, but
Oh, yeah.
this is the kind of theme I'm the least interested in.
Yeah. The like holier than thou type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah. Like Cities is supposed to be the ragtag group that gets themselves together to fight the, vampires or orcs or whatever, and then that guy just like comes on the battlefield slinging. I don't know if spells.
nah, she's a buff piece.
She's
She's a aura and buff piece, which is, it's fine.
Yeah.
It is a great sculpt. Unfortunately, because I'm out of Age of Sigmar recently with scheduling, I just don't exactly know how well these guys do in game.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm the same way. I'm focusing on 40k and other games a little bit more, so I haven't really looked into these guys. They wouldn't be my cup of tea, even if.
Right, I already played a
was.
faction.
Yeah.
You're kind of just like.
I just like, oh no, it's humans and elves and dwarves? No, get out of here.
Yeah. What I do like, though, is the kind of, you mentioned Ragtag, the Free Guild Command Corps.
Oh yeah, these guys, I said as we were setting up, these guys are a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah, and they have, what do they have?
They got a little lizard
Dragon dog lizard thing. It's a mascot, is what I'm going
It's
for.
a mascot.
Because how do you sell boxes? Put
a mascot.
adorable mascots in them, and they have figured it out. What's really funny is that there's like 2 variants of every single one of these.
Yeah.
So if you want them all,
I mean, yeah, this is actually reminding me of the kill team box for Inquisitors. Very similar.
that's a very good comparison.
Because it's like very specific, interesting sculpts, but there's 2 options for each.
Yeah. Now, in this case, the sculpts options are more cosmetic. They're not actually different characters. But it does change, banner guy becomes a hammer guy, that kind of stuff.
That is cool.
I love this box. Even not playing Age of Sigmar, I'm looking into getting it maybe over Christmas or something. Just
Yeah,
'cause-
it's got some really, honestly, for the Age of Sigmar role-playing game,
Oh,
this would be really
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, Soulbound.
Yeah, Soulbound. This would be a great box.
sculpt for Soulbound.
I mean, honestly, the whole faction's pretty good for Soulbound, except for the really big stuff. But
That's
yeah,
true.
this one in particular has a lot of personality to it.
And just in general, any fantasy game, I think these guys, that is the nice thing about this redo, is like they're very extra, but they're also a lot less generic Warhammer.
That's true. I do like
Which
that.
was the problem with the old Free Guild, where it was like a Free Guild halberdier and a, Landsknecht from a historical war game were basically the same thing.
Yeah. You do have to cross off some of the Sigmar symbols. It's
Scribble,
Sigmar.
scribble, scribble, scribble. But you can.
Yep. Put a little plastic putty on there. No one's gonna see it.
And if you need some big plastic putty, and that was a terrible segue,
That was a terrible segue.
it's a cannon, all right?
It's a cannon.
It go boom.
I was surprised at the base size on this thing when I opened it
Yeah.
up.
I'm surprised they have the guy just drinking a liquor bottle on the back.
I mean, he can still shoot mostly straight.
You just gotta load the dang thing.
Yeah. He's on break in between shots.
This does lean into them being a faction that gets things done via range, which kind of makes sense when you're a normal human.
Yeah. Like, again, if you're going head-to-head against an orc, probably
Right, you're gonna lose, but
Yeah.
if you have a cannon to even the odds,
it helps.
then you get there. Also led by Free Guild Cavalier Marshal. This is the one I was surprised was not in the main box,
You would think it would be, considering the cavalry was in there.
but I guess I had enough characters.
That's true. They didn't have to put one of them and put this one over.
Yeah, but the ones that were in there were great, so
That's true.
I just wish we had gotten those, because some of those I also want on their own. Again, great sculpt. The Free Guild cavalry is fine. It's more like your objective taking.
Sure.
And this guy kind of buffs them, so he's fine.
Yeah.
But he doesn't buff your shooting gun line, which is what really gets stuff done.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of, last and certainly not least,
For the little stuff at least.
your Free Guild gun line.
Yeah. What are those called when you have a shield and you have the gun on top of the shield? Is that a...
Well, the shield blocking is called a Pavis shield.
Oh, yeah, the Pavis.
That's it was originally for crossbows, where you'd put the shield down and hide behind it while you reloaded the crossbow, so you wouldn't get shot by enemy archers.
Yeah.
And then there's some people would carry it on their back, so all you have to do is turn around, load your crossbow, turn it back. These guys obviously are basically just human Jezzails.
Yeah, basically.
Skaven did it first. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, but there's 10 of these. And they're plastic.
I wasn't arguing that. But whose fault is that? Games Workshop.
Games
Give
Workshop.
me plastic Jezzails. 10 of them in a box.
Games Workshop. Oh my god, that'd be so... But busted.
Well, you'd make the stats lower.
No, same stats. Same stats.
Power creep.
Yeah. But yeah, very similar. They're very interesting and busy. They have a very specific thing that they do.
They also went really, we've gone back in time. We've lost tech. Because previous Free Guild handgunners used, they were wheel lock muskets, which are a 16th century thing.
Okay.
These are hand cannons. And that it is literally a cannon on a stick.
Yep.
And the stick is there because when it goes off, you don't want it near you.
So a firework, but bigger.
Literally, yes. It's a cannon on a stick, and you're like, all right, I'm going to light this, and then we're going to put it over here to light it. And the shield acts as a great mount for that.
Yeah. I don't like the little squire guy. It's the only thing in the whole box I
He's
don't
basically the ammo lugger.
Yeah.
Cut to that one scene from The Matrix 3, where it's the guy's carrying ammo to the
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You remember part of the Matrix 3, and that's already more than...
Unfortunately.
Oh my god.
I don't know why I thought of that guy. Or the movie Trench Boy, which is a terrible one.
That sounds like a terrible movie.
Yeah, it's about
I've never heard
a boy who runs ammo in the trenches. Anyway.
You're not a fan.
Grim
Anyway.
Dark.
And finally.
Dahlia, Vedra, Lioness of the Parch. We talked at great length about this one in the Sunday rundown
When
we
they
first
revealed
saw
it, yeah.
My opinion of it has not changed.
Well, interestingly, because you said your opinion on it is getting better since it got first revealed.
Because I saw someone on Warhammer Community on their How to Paint This had removed the throne in the back.
Yeah, take the stupid throne off of it.
You take the throne off of it, and my opinion of this raises dramatically.
Yeah.
Keep her helmet on, because the helmet's awesome. And take the stupid throne off. Manticore's still not...
Yeah, it's definitely more of a chaos thing, but we talked about this before, that it's supposed to be the, taming of chaos.
Thematically, I like it.
Yeah.
I just like griffins. I think griffins are cool.
Griffins are cool.
They're like dragons, which we'll get to.
With beaks.
Caw. Yeah, she's got so many weapon options, which is weird.
Yeah, that is strange. I'm assuming her profile is just, named weapon.
Sticky McStick hit stick.
Yeah, something like that.
Sticky McHit stick, and then it's just which Sticky McHit stick you put on.
Yeah. No, I like the thought of she has all of them on her, but she'll pick a different one depending on what her opponent is.
No, it's Saltspire's pistols from Vermintide.
Oh yeah.
She just has 42
And
of
he
them in
just
her
drops
coat.
them.
Well, every time she hits someone, she doesn't. It's actually a ranged attack.
This
She just yeets one at everybody and pulls another one out.
this weapon is dirty.
No, I'm just thinking she doesn't actually hit people with it. She just chuck, pulls another one out, chuck. You get her in close combat, the Manticore has to do all the work.
That's true. It's probably actually true.
Which is actually true, yeah. If you've got a stick that's this long and you're 15 feet off the ground on a Manticore, you're gonna go wait, no,
Yeah.
no, come here.
Get him closer, so I
Come
can
here,
hit him
come
with
here.
my sword.
Come here. Got him. All right.
Yeah, it's the old guard meme.
Yeah, drag me closer. Speaking of dragons. Dragons. Specifically, the old and the new. I mean, and by old, I mean less than a year old. Two things.
About a year, yeah.
Number one, and we're gonna get a picture of this up there right now. The way they painted these dragons on the back,
Oh yeah,
that is a sick
those are amazing.
paint job.
The paint job they just put up on Warhammer Community of painting Ionis himself, also amazing. Oh my god. They know how to paint dragons. They know how to sculpt dragons, they know how to paint dragons. They look great.
Yeah, and so this is it's Cryptborn's Stormwing. It's Ionis Cryptborn, who is basically Sigmar was like, hey, go find out what happens with the reforging thing and why people are kind of slowly losing themselves. And he's like, got it, boss. And he kind of went rogue for 100 years.
Oh,
I mean, not rogue, like he's not chaos or anything.
he just like disappeared.
He's Dragon Batman.
Gotcha.
It's really cool.
I was actually gonna say that he did the lion and just disappeared into the ether for a while.
just backs out. He's basically a Lord Relictor on a dragon.
Cool.
AKA cooler than a normal Lord Relictor.
Yes.
What's not cool is that, as usual, this is, let's say it together, a box where the new model comes packaged with other models, so it's more expensive and it won't be out on its own for a very long time. We've talked.
I'm sure we said all that together.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly 1-to-1. Yeah, we've talked about this before. It really sucks when they do that.
And I say that as somebody who loves dragons.
Yeah,
like
because obviously someone that plays not Sigmar, but Stormcast would want the cool new awesome dragon.
or Cities of Sigmar, because you can
That's true.
ally in Stormcast.
But maybe you don't want another $90 box.
If you're our good friend Cheryl, who bought a dragon army when they came out, because dragons are cool, you probably don't want to spend this money for 2 more dragons that you don't need,
Exactly.
just to get Ionis,
It's done.
who by all accounts is really cool and really good. It's just such a, yeah. Ugh, we've talked about this so much, but I don't want to stop talking about it because I don't want to make them think it's okay. They're
Yeah.
going to totally watch this and
They're
care
going
about
to
my
totally
opinion.
watch this exact
Sorry for hitting
video
Mike.
channel.
Hey, GW, put your ear up to the microphone.
I want to see what he does with that. But yeah, like you said, we've talked about it before. Sculpt is fantastic. Even these sculpts are fantastic, the old ones, but it just sucks that they have to be wrapped up together. He could have just been released by himself, and he would have sold like hotcakes.
They had the power to do that.
Yeah, but they didn't. Because they have back stock of the stupid...
I don't even think they have backstock of the dragons.
You don't think so?
No, I think they just, it makes the numbers go up better.
It does.
It's more sales and more money.
Line go up.
Line go up.
Last for models today.
I'm trying to think of a segue about lines and going up, but I can't.
No.
You know what's not as cool as a dragon?
A bug?
Yeah.
A very big beetle?
Yep.
So this is Alariel's younger brother. Because it's a smaller beetle.
The Blades of Belthanos.
Sure.
Belthanos is basically, he's the incarnation of Kurnoth, the god of the hunt.
Okay.
So the Kurnothi are the tree people who are
Yeah.
butt kicker tree people, not your wimpy little dryads.
Yeah.
And they're called Kurnothi because they're of Kurnoth, the god of the hunt.
Makes
like
sense.
he's the one who blows the horn, and then all the Sylvaneth are like, it's hunting time. In Warhammer Old World, which is coming back, so it's not relevant. His name wasn't Kurnoth was still the god of the hunt, but it was, I always forget the name of the elf. He's a Total War Warhammer 1 DLC.
Oh, that would be why I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's also in there. Basically, it's an elf who is an amalgamation of a bunch of different elves.
Okay.
And he's also the Lord of the Hunt. They're
Gotcha.
basically calling it back to that.
Okay.
But like everything in Age of Sigmar, it's extra because that was an elf, a big elf, who rode a stag. This is a really big tree elf who rides a beetle.
It's a stag beetle. That's not actually.
It's actually not actually stag beetle.
not.
Alariel's is, but his is
That's
not.
true. Missed opportunity, guys.
Yeah. It's a great looking model.
It is.
Kurnoth are still really good in Sylvaneth. They're your punchiness.
I like Kurnoth. I like the Kurnoth design of the, because dryads are, dryads. They're just
Old.
they're just living trees. And
They're
yeah,
old.
Old sculpts. The Kurnoth look really cool, being the like upgraded version.
Yes.
With like the wooden rib cage type thing. Love all that.
It's a tree mech suit.
Yeah, it's a tree mech suit. And he's just a bigger, cooler one of those. So again, I do like the sculpt. I just wish it wasn't tied up with these
Second verse, same as the
older
first.
models.
Yeah. I can't wait for somebody to do an animation of him playing Epic Sax Guy.
Okay. I'm here. Here for it.
Yeah, that would be great.
That would.
Um,
All right, I'll get right on it.
Gossamed Revenant Seekers. Sorry, not the Gossamed Archers. The Revenant Seekers are. They were when they came out. They got a lot of hubbub about this thing that was going to break the game. And then they kind of didn't.
Yeah. I'm hearing similar things about Belethos himself. But
Yep.
Meh.
Yep, hard to say. But Kurnoth themselves are reliably stable
Yep.
and just they're a good anvil and a good hammer. They're just pricey in points.
Yep.
But otherwise, yeah, again, let's say it together. Good deal if you want everything in the box.
Yeah.
And bad if you don't.
Yeah, if you're just getting into, same with Stormcast, if you're just getting into either of these and everything in the box looks great,
Dragons are good.
go for it.
Having 2 dragon cavalry to take objectives and force things on opponent, it's a great part of the Stormcast army.
Yeah, you don't need to be all dragons.
No, but
So,
you can.
you can.
And you probably should, because dragons are cool. Yeah. Speaking of dragons are cool,
Everything's a segue.
if you just keep using dragons, you always have a segue.
That should be our segue for every video. Speaking of dragons are cool.
Speaking of dragons are cool. So this is the Dawnbringers, the Long Hunt. Is there anything we could say about this that we haven't said besides catching the reflection of the light on there?
4th Dawnbringer? 3rd Dawnbringer's book?
I don't know.
Does it say it on the front? Am I making a fool of myself? It is. It does say it on the front. It's the 3rd Dawnbringer's book. But yeah, it's a collection of rules.
I just don't like that it comes with rules.
I agree.
I just don't like that. I don't like that because I know that when Age of Sigmar next edition comes out this
book
summing,
is going to be irrelevant.
this is gonna like a thank you. That's gonna happen, and
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I'm sure it's got a great story in there. I've heard great things about the story of this campaign.
Yeah.
I just don't care
Yeah.
because it's all gonna go poof. Maybe it won't.
Maybe it won't. Maybe summer will come and they're going to go, you know what? It's Age of Sigmar 3.5. All of the old stuff's still in.
Just leaning into that D&D 3.5.
Ah, there you go.
Age of Sigmar Pathfinder edition.
Pathfinder edition.
Speaking of Cities of Sigmar.
Speaking of dragons are cool.
Speaking of things that will go poof with the new edition.
Yeah.
But maybe it won't.
This is the equivalent of the guard book for 10th edition. Maybe.
No, because the guard book didn't come out until January. This
true.
has 2 whole months on the
2 whole
guard
months.
book for 10th edition. This is the Cities of Sigmar Tabletop.
Yep. Easy peasy.
It's what, 2 months after the box came out?
I think so. We probably should have looked at it. But actually.
No, it is. I was just trying to think exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because it was August, September. I mean, we didn't do a full review of the book because nobody watches those.
Nope.
It is a good book. It is an army that plays solidly in the your ranged gets things done. You have cheap disposable units backed up by buff pieces that are still relatively cheap. Ain't nobody in here 600 points. You don't have any gods. You can ally in Stormcast. Yeah, it focuses a lot more on the human Sigmarite
Yes.
side of Cities of Sigmar.
That being said, it does still have the elves and the dwarves.
Yeah,
The old sculpts are still usable.
The only things that really got squatted, Phoenix Guard went away.
Yeah.
Some of the non.
I think the wood elves?
Yes, the
Wood elves went away?
Shadow Elves slash who the Shadow Elves dual kit with? Oh my god. Sisters of the Watch.
Truly don't know. Oh,
They used to be called Sisters of Avalorn, and I couldn't get that out of my head.
Oh, yeah,
Sisters of the Watch now. Those went away. Basically, everything that wasn't a Dark Elf went away, which is kind of funny.
That is interesting.
Like, the Dark Elves stayed in there, despite the fact that they're the ones who are the most, like, kind of tied with Marathi.
Yeah. And also rumors about Malarian coming back.
Malarian.
Maybe that's why.
Maybe. That would be really funny if that book came out and just took the old Dark Elf skits and just put them in there.
Just like, yoink.
Well, they did that for, because Dark Riders are one of the few cross-faction dual kits.
Yeah.
Because Dark Riders are in this book, but they're also the Doomfire Warlocks in Daughters of Cain. Yeah, it is a good book. It's not dominating the meta by any means, which is good, but it's also not lagging behind.
It is also, I mean, because of all the War Scrolls, it is decently thick for Battletome.
Yes, they kept, if you were worried about them cutting down too many of the War Scrolls, I wouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, I agree.
You still have a pretty varied army. Most of the stuff that was squatted can be very, very easily played as one of the new units.
Yeah.
If you have an old box of Free Guild Guard, there is nothing stopping you from using them as one of the steel helms. Yeah. It's very clear what they are. Handgunners and Fusiliers, just glue a shield to their things, you know. It's fine. You don't really need to throw anything away. Even the elves that got squatted, you could use as one of the Dark Elf variants.
Yeah.
And just say they're nicer Dark Elves. I don't know. Well, this has been up for pre-order for 2 weeks?
Yep, 2 weeks.
Our long national 2-week pre-order nightmare continues.
Yeah.
Please end it.
It's
my pain.
It's really funny that when they announced a 2-week and then the next one was 2 week, we're like, oh yeah, we're perfectly fine with this. And now we're like 4 weeks in and we're like, please stop.
We are no longer fine with
We're
this.
no longer fine with this.
And that's not even something I really wanted.
No.
Overall, my thoughts and opinions are this is a faction that I really like the look of.
Yeah.
There's other things we haven't gotten, like the guy in the ogre crow's nest.
Yep. Oh, I forgot about him.
The Wilder Core came out in their Warcry box, which they still haven't come out on their own yet. They're still only in that dual box.
Yeah. I mean, that just came out like
It did, but my point is that if you're a Cities of Sigmar player, I'm actually kind of glad I am not playing this right now, because if I was, I would be frustrated.
That's fair.
Because there's a lot of things I wasn't able to get until now, and there's still things I can't get.
Yeah.
If I wanted that, captain with was it a Fusilier, or I forget what he's called. The captain on Ogre, basically. If I wanted that, I couldn't get it still.
Yep.
And yes, I'm just going to put a rat on a rat ogre and call it a day, but you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing the dichotomy between 40k and Sigmar, because 40k comes out and everything in that book, that's available. Somewhere it's available. But in Sigmar, the book comes out and you're like, now you gotta wait.
I'm trying to think if there were any exceptions from Space Marines.
I don't think there was.
Some of it's in, not counting the stuff that's locked behind Leviathan.
Sure, but like if we are counting Leviathan, then we should also be counting the army box, which has 2 models in it that's only been released.
The only thing that wasn't available when the book came out, the jump intercessors.
Jump intercessors are out.
They are, but they didn't come out with the.
They came out the same week.
Oh right, because the codex was just so long to get.
Oh
released.
no, the scouts. Scouts aren't out yet.
Yeah, but the old scouts are out.
That's true.
You could just use those.
That's true. But yeah, I'm just seeing the differences of like a.
No, that's a good point. I was trying to wonder if there's any exceptions. I don't think there are.
Yeah.
GW hates Age of Sigmar. Who knew?
I mean, it makes less money, so.
Speaking of making less money,
comment down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
please. I haven't eaten in days.
I know it looks like I have, but no.
It's because you keep eating all my food, Mitchell.
I forgot about that. That's probably why.
Anyway, let us know down below if you're a Cities of Sigmar player who shares that same opinion. Maybe I'm just overreacting on that.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe I'm spoiled now by 40k. I've lost my way, lost my roots. Gotta go back.
No, you actually don't.
Speaking of time, we'll see you next week.
Bye.